escape mode. So I've got very little time because I'm about to start my gardening job. I've got a bit of Vaseline on my nose because yesterday, I don't know whether you guys felt it, but I definitely felt the hay fever. I can see it on my eyes. So I very briefly, I should say, I was self-congratulating myself for the last month, thinking that I'd rid myself of hay fever this year because I'd been eating local honey. And yesterday was a quick reminder that that wasn't the case. I tend to only get a couple of days a year anyway, so it's nothing to be bothered about. But anyway, my question is this, and I'm talking to you blokes because it tends to be blokes that do this more than anything else. Are you one for sitting on the loo with your phone? Now, I say this as somebody that not too very long ago did exactly that. So I'm not judging anybody. This is a common thing amongst us blokes. There's reasons. Let's go through obviously the very real reasons why you shouldn't do it. It's fairly obvious, but from a bacterial perspective, from a health perspective, it's not very good, obviously. And actually, when you flush the loo, for example, apparently the particles from the loo, I don't know whether this is the case, jump up a good 6 feet. So it's good to remove all toothbrushes and towels away from the loo, close the loo lid when you flush. But I think there is a more important issue here. Not necessarily just to do with the hygiene, which of course is an important issue. But the important issue is, what does it really say about us that we are seeking me time, time out on the loo? In other words, psychologically, we're thinking, this is my time when I'm doing a poo, to put it bluntly. What yes, Adrian. But what does that say about us? And typically this happens to parents more than anybody because we tend to have far less time, or the assumption that we have far less time. We've got far too many commitments in our life. And therefore, we are choosing to spend that time for ourselves. And then subsequently, we end up sitting on there far too long, 5 minutes or so, which of course is really bad. That's how you end up getting piles and things like that. But as I say, what does it really say about, yeah, well, as you say, it's also a private space, so there are very few other distractions. I agree with you. But what does that really say about us as human beings, that we are seeking that place to have our me time? Shouldn't we instead be saying to anybody around us that presently we might feel guilty for saying this, to our children, to our wives, to our partners, whoever it may be, I'm now going to spend 10, 20 minutes on my own. I'm going to shut myself away and I'm going to listen to music. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to go for a walk. That would be 10 times better. But instead, we're being lazy. And as I say, I'm not judging because I was, until very recently, exactly one of those people. We're being lazy because we're going, now let's combine methods. Let's combine ideas whilst doing a dump. I'm then going to have my me time. And then I'm going to ruin my me time by looking at the phone and scroll. And, you know, I'm just raising that question really because I think psychologically, for our own psychological health, we would be far better off going to the loo, doing it really quickly, not taking our phone. Maybe when we come out, then saying to our wives or children or partners, I'm just going to spend 10 minutes on my own. I'm assuming that's okay. The assumptive statement. And that would be it. That's all you have to do. There we are. A somewhat polarizing topic, I would imagine, because most men typically will go to the loo and do this and therefore think it is perfectly fine. I don't think it's fine now, although, as I said, not too very long ago, I was doing exactly that. So no judgment. Anyway, Yes, Irene, and I'm sure you don't do it because women, let's face it, they just go to the loo. That's all they do. Anyway, here endeth today's video. I had a really good session this morning with the guys on the course. So Thursdays and Fridays, obviously, because of my gardening day, then it's always a nice early one at the start of the day that we do the course. For those that are interested, do go. I'll drop a link below and sign up for the next course, which will probably be in a couple of weeks' time. Goodbye for now. TTFN.